Hello, today is Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, going into today's readings for Holy Tuesday, Father Thomas Byles. As Ellen Mary Mockler's lifeboat floated away from the Titanic on this day in 1912, the 19-year-old Irish immigrant heard people responding to the prayers of a priest as the ship sank into the Atlantic. Crew members tried to convince Father Thomas Byles to get into a lifeboat, but he refused. People rowing away from the sinking ship saw him leading people, whether Catholic or not, in praying the rosary and giving general absolution. The 42-year-old priest from England had boarded the Titanic so he could officiate at his brother's wedding in New York. 4 days into the ship's maiden voyage, Father Byles celebrated Mass. Although not knowing what would befall him and the other 2,240 passengers and crew members, he preached a homily about using a prayer as a life vest and the sacraments to save the soul in a spiritual shipwreck. Before midnight that night, Father Byles was praying while walking the upper deck when the Titanic hit the iceberg. After the captain ordered everyone into lifeboats, Father Byles went below deck and led third-class passengers to lifeboats. Unable to speak or understand English, many could not respond to the crew's orders and found themselves trapped behind locked iron gates. Father Byles was among more than 1,500 people who died on this day in 1912. Rescuers never recovered his body. The memory of his faith and courage remained with Mockler, who later was known as St. Mary Patricia after becoming a Sisters of Mercy nun. She died on her 95th birthday in 1984. In 2015, a movement to have Father Byles declared a saint began. The priest's cause for sainthood remains open. John 19, verses 32 to 34. So the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first and then of the other one who was crucified with Jesus. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. But one soldier thrust his lance into his side, and immediately blood and water flowed out. In describing the blood and water flowing from the side of Jesus, John is not giving a medical analysis. He is teaching the deeper meaning of the death of Jesus. Earlier in John's Gospel, Jesus came to Jerusalem for the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles. On the last and greatest day of the feast, Jesus stood up and exclaimed, "Let anyone who thirsts come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as Scripture says, rivers of living water will flow from within." He said this in reference to the Spirit that those who came to believe in him were to receive. There was, of course, no Spirit yet given, because Jesus has not yet been glorified. John chapter 7, verse 37 through 39. Now that Jesus was lifted up on the cross and given his life, the hour of his glorification has come. The blood expresses his dying, which is its glorification. The water expresses his Spirit, which he promised to give. Let anyone who thirsts come to me. Jesus speaks those words personally to each of us, and he promises to give us the gift of his own Spirit, the Spirit of Jesus given to me. Have I ever thought of this way before? Spend some quiet time with the Lord. I appreciate you for being here, and I will catch you tomorrow.